Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Jack,
And I'm Tyler.
and welcome to On the Spot Sports, where we talk everything sports from baseball, hockey, football, basketball. And on today's episode, we'll be talking about the MLB season so far and the Allstar Game since it just ended.
Yeah, all things MLB today. What's going on so far with the 2019 season? All the players, MLB races, division races, you name it, we got it. Just recapping everything that happened in the first week of the All-Star break. What teams are on the move? What teams are on the downfall? We'll cover that all today. So, guys, stay tuned. We got a really fun episode today, and yeah, let's get right into it. So All-Star week was this week. We had obviously AL versus NL, home run derby, all that fun stuff. The American League came out on top again, though. They said seventh straight season they beat the National League. What do you take of this? Because, I mean, obviously we both know that both leagues have top to bottom talented players. With the American League winning again, do you think that says something for what could we see in the playoffs again?
I think it does. The American League always has like the dominant teams, and like especially in the All-Star Game, they're always like dominant. They've won the past seven.
Yeah.
But, like, I think it's like in the last 14 or
Yeah, I
14
think
of
I
like
heard that
20 something.
last seven, and then they've won 9 out of the last 10.
Yeah, something like that. And it just proves that anyone could stay with each other. And it's always nice to see the American League coming up on top over the National League, because the National League usually gets all the props, and like everyone usually says National League's always better, but the All-Star Game says otherwise.
I feel like it's also kind of a big deal, especially, I don't know about now, but in the past, they always used to determine who would get home field for the World Series, whichever league won the World Series. And I think the last year they used that was the Cubs against the Indians.
Yeah.
And that was obviously huge because the Cubs had the best record that year. Indians got home field because the AL won the All-Star Game. That almost shook the series around. I mean, the Cubs came back from 3 games to 1 down, but they had to win 2 big games in Cleveland. But overall, if the All-Star Game as a whole, I feel like, is really, really good for not only the sport, but for the fans, too. I mean, the revenue is huge.
The fans love it.
The fans love it. They turn out big time all the time. I mean, the home run derby, I mean, that was packed. That was a great show. You look at all the contenders, all these new and upcoming guys, you're like, oh wow, you can jump on, the Vlad Guerrero bandwagon, the Pete Alonso bandwagon. Now everyone's coming. There's just so much young talent. I think especially the All-Star Game, it really allows the fans to see like what kind of upswing the sport is going through. Because I think baseball is on a big upswing. I mean, we have so much talent that's coming through now in the league, and I just feel like it's gonna be a good future for the MLB.
What do you think of the Vlad Jr. 91 homers in the home run derby?
That was epic. I mean, like, this guy, at just every at bat, when you saw him go up, he'd just be like, boom, 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 just home run swing after home run swing. And it was like, we never really saw that power. Like, for a minute there, I was like, what is he on steroids? Because, I mean, you look at back in the day, I'm not trying to be funny when I say that, but you look at back in the day when you see, like, guys like Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Jose Canseco, all of them just blasting home runs, like, game in and game out. You're like, wow, that's something. And then when you find that out, it's like, it just kind of ruins the effect. But I definitely feel like for Vlad Jr., he just has that natural ability to really turn a pitch into, like I said, a 450-foot home run. But it was really, really cool. I mean, the fans were really, really into it. So I feel like it's awesome that he's getting the fans more and more involved and engaged. So overall, really good thing for baseball to see that one of its main events that has kind of taken a little dip as far as popularity among the players really got going an upswing this year, especially that second round match up between Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Jock Peterson. Let's kind of touch on that, though, because, I mean, wow, they both set records for home runs. I mean, could you even imagine? Both of them must be like, I don't know if I want to go to the finals because, I mean, our arms are just sore. You know what I mean?
Everything into it. Everything into that round.
And, I mean, this is the first year that the winner gets $1 million. So these guys were like, oh, all bets are off. Like, I know I'm going to be sore going in the finals, but, man, I want that $1 million. But That was crazy.
And the car.
Oh, the car. The car too.
The car is always a good
Or did the car? I
prize.
feel like the car was for the MVP for the All-Star Game.
Right, yeah.
Pete Alonso, Pete Alonso won the home run derby. Shocking, kind of coming out of nowhere, beating Vlad Guerrero Jr. Kind of saved his good stuff up for last, bested him out. This was, like I said, the first year that they had $1 million prize for the winner of the home run derby. So
I'd take that.
Oh, I'd take
it all day.
I think anyone would take that. I just found an interesting stat that said his 2019 salary is $555,000, and now with the All-Star Game the home run derby win, he just won $1 million. He just bested his whole salary for this season, so that's crazy. We are being pretty much engaged in a money-loving world, sports world, anything. It's just everything. Most of the stuff's about the money these days. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I also want to say, like, the Vlad Jr., 91 homers. That was incredible. The dude put power into every single hit, like, all 91. It's
he was
insane.
Full swinging that. I mean...
He was just going boom, boom, just full on.
You saw him, the extension this guy had was just off the wall. So much power. I mean, when we heard that Toronto was bringing him up, we're like, oh boy, Zion of baseball is here, because they like to make that comparison about him and Zion. Zion being, everyone knows him for his dunks. Interesting comparison, because I think Vlad Jr. is praised a lot for his home runs, so they do have a lot of similarities. But everyone knew when he was coming up, they were like, oh boy, we're going to get a lot more balls that are blasted in the seats now.
Vlad Jr.'s dad was a home run derby champ, I believe
Yes.
so too.
Yeah, Los Angeles Angels, one of the more known players in their franchise.
It's a father-son duo.
Exactly, and he took to Twitter and he's like, I know my boy, he's going to hit some home runs.
He was right.
Yeah.
He crushed the record too, by like 20 or 30, I believe. So
91 is a lot. I mean, like...
I'd be lucky to only hit one.
Nah. For saying you play baseball, so...
Yeah.
Well, how far could you hit? Just a little touch up here. How far could you hit a baseball? How far do you think?
I want to say 350, but probably like...
Get out of here. Are you serious?
No, probably like 250, 300.
Dang, man. Yeah, I used to play baseball back in the day. I kind of quit when I was in 8th grade. So, I want to say I'd be lucky. I'm kind of lucky to just crack the infield.
The 100.
No, not a homer. No way. I don't have the arm strength for that. But anyway, that's a new topic.
I'm still trying to get over the 250 fence for my league right now. It's getting there. We'll work on that, though.
Making progress. So we to kind of cover the All-Star Game. I feel like, though, we need to kind of talk about what happened in the MLB season leading up to the All-Star break, because there's definitely a lot of teams that took a big step up from last season, a big step up just in the beginning of the season to the All-Star break in general. Just go over what's going on each league. I mean, American League, let's start off. All-Star Game winners. Right now, I believe it's the Yankees, the Twins, and the Astros clearly ahead in the divisions. Yankees, though, I mean, like, they just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, we saw Tampa Bay really take that early lead with the Yankees. They just, I feel like for some reason they just always have depth. Like DJ LeMahieu really breaking out in his first season, and still with Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge, probably their two best players on injured reserve right now.
The Yankees are usually always a powerhouse team too.
Yeah.
Especially in like the early 2000s, 2000 like 15ish powerhouse teams.
A-Rod and Jeter.
Jeter.
Yeah. They haven't won a World Series in about 10 years, but right now I feel like with the way that they're coming alive,
they have a good chance.
It's definitely, their chances are definitely soaring. We know they have a lot of fans. They're going to get a lot of attention, obviously. I feel like everyone talks about the Yankees season in, season out. The one team, though, that I do want to kind of touch base on, How about your defending champions, the Boston Red Sox? Really slow start to start the season. We're like, what's going on here? They're kind of finding their way right now. I believe they're just on the outside of the wild card race a little bit. They're still behind Tampa Bay and the Yankees. The Indians are right in there as well in the wild card race, and you also have the Athletics that are right there too. The Rangers are in there. Really interesting season, but we were talking about the home run derby, home runs. The Minnesota Twins. You want to talk about come out of nowhere? I mean, they've been a bottom team in that division and just in the league in general, especially this decade and in the past while. For them to just kind of say, "Oh, look at us," coming out of nowhere, and Max Kepler and them hitting all those home runs. They do have the most home runs through the All-Star break so far.
Twins just shot up from the standings.
I think I'm just more shocked that someone overtook the Indians, because the Indians have been the team to beat in that division for the past couple of years.
Like 3-4 years.
For someone to just come out of nowhere and just really take a commanding lead like that, it's shocking and surprising to say the least. But Minnesota, look out for them. I'm not so sure if they can go top notch with the Yankees, and especially a team like the Astros. We know the Astros are good. They won a World Series 2 years ago, but anything can happen. The Twins are young. The Twins are not going anywhere, folks. They are here to stay, I believe. Their young roster, their young talent is surely one to watch out for. I feel like the best is yet to come for Minnesota. But other teams, as far as concerned, the Rays definitely also kind of took a little dip, especially after the first month or two. They got off to a hot start, but they've kind of cooled off, but they're still in the wild card race. Really cool to see that. And also, I don't know if I should be saying this, but the Montreal Rays, maybe? What do you think about that, though? I mean, they're looking to split between Tampa Bay and Montreal. What do you think about that?
I think it's very interesting. I would want to see the Rays be in Montreal, too. But, I think it'd be, travel issues with that.
I know.
Especially, with them being half Tampa and half Montreal. It's just, it's just weird. Just, for the half and half expansion part.
Well, I feel like a main reason why they could be doing this is because the Rays, they have very low fan turnout, which is obviously disappointing.
Montreal had a pretty good fan base, I believe.
Yeah, I hear that people miss the Montreal Expos as a franchise when they moved to the Washington Nationals.
I would want to see the Expos back. That'd be cool.
Yeah, as far as that's concerned, I'd either say stick with Tampa Bay or go to Montreal, one or the other. Don't mix them up, because I feel like then it'll definitely take away the feeling of, having a city's heart for a team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't... That's just my opinion.
Just messes with everyone.
Stick with one city, you know what I mean? Don't get one city all caught up and then everyone is like, I love them, and now
Tampa,
you're splitting. It's like...
If Tampa stays, it'll be the Tampa fans will be there, and then halfway through the season they have to switch all the way to Montreal.
And even that, you don't know what the schedule's going to be like. We don't even know if the MLB is going to approve this. They're just rumors that this could happen. But just a very interesting topic. Yeah. Really don't know what's going to happen with that. But obviously, we all know that the reason behind that is the Rays have very low fan turnout, which I said, again, is a disappointment, considering that they are, again, one of the youngest teams that have been showing their talent-wise. Charlie Morton, coming over from the Astros, good pitcher, won the World Series with them in 2017. He's been kind of leading the charge. Big Cy Young winner. Now let's kind of change gears here. How about the National League? I feel like that National League is also very up in the air. I believe your division winners during the All-Star break right now, we have Atlanta, a couple games up on Philly. The Cubs, that NL Central is tight.
Oh.
Cubs, Brewers, Cardinals, Pirates, Reds, all
Cubs on top.
So close to each other.
Only 1.5 games behind. Cardinals 3.0. Pirates 3.5, and the Reds 5.5. It's a close division.
Anything could happen in that stretch, and especially baseball being such a long season. And then nothing to talk about in the NL West. The Dodgers dominating. Best record in the league.
60-33, that's incredible.
I don't want to disappoint anyone when I say this, but, obviously, Dodger fans have to be extremely excited that they're, again, one of the best teams in the league. But I have to point this out. Will this last in the playoffs? They've choked in the playoffs the past couple years, and obviously that's one to name because the Dodgers, as legendary of a franchise as they are, they haven't won a World Series in nearly 40 years. So with their young roster, fans are like, is the time running out, you know?
I want to say that this is the year the Dodgers get in the World Series.
Third straight year?
Yeah, just because, like, how young of a team they are, like, the depth they have. But it'll be interesting if the Dodgers and the Yankees make it.
I feel like that's what I was also wondering about, is I feel like most people, their dream World Series matchup would probably be the Dodgers and the Yankees.
Cross country.
Could be. I believe they faced off a couple times in the 1950s. I believe that was when Don Larson threw a perfect game in the World Series back in 1956, something we might never see again. But, again, just two of America's most beloved teams, especially, like I said, they're doing so good. They're both on pace to do great things in the playoffs. Top to bottom, really talented rosters. I mean, you got here in LA, you got Max Muncy, most home runs since the 2018 All-Star break. In the NL, I believe, Cody Bellinger. Everybody knows Cody Bellinger now. He's been one of the Dodgers and one of the MLB's most breakout stars. And then you got veteran guys like Clayton Kershaw there at the mound. Rich Hill also there. Dodgers is the top to bottom very talented lineup. And if they make the World Series for a third straight year, I say it's World Series or bust at this point.
Three straight years maybe. You gotta win at least one World Series in that stretch.
Exactly, and especially since old manager Don Mattingly left, they have made the championship series every single year because the Cubs beat them out in 2016. Then it's been World Series, but haven't come up with the victory. Have not come up for a World Series for LA. Been disappointing, but how about this NL Central? I mean, the Cubs barely on top. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I mean, to touch up on this MVP race, though, you want to talk about a guy from Milwaukee named Christian Yelich. I mean, this man, insane. Him and Cody Bellinger, again, the two top leaders for MVP.
They're both really good friends, too. As they were talking about in the All-Star Game when they were mic'd up, they're like, we both became buddies over the years, and you always have fun cheering for your friends, but someone's got to win that MVP race.
Yeah. Last year was Yelich. Last year was Christian Yelich and Javier Baez from the Cubs, which I think most people would say he has maybe the best fielding skills of anyone in the MLB. But right now it's between, I've heard Belly and Yelly. That's kind of the two sides right here. I don't know which one I'm picking.
Legendary nicknames, too.
Yes.
Matches.
Very corresponding. I like that. But I feel like it's great for baseball, especially, like I said, for the NL or just everything. It really gives the fans a side to choose. Like Milwaukee fans, so passionate about their new traded player from the Marlins. Really, I feel like he really started breaking out once the Marlins traded him because he was kind of just a low-key, people kind of know him player. But ever since he came to Milwaukee, he was like, wow, this guy can play. And then Cody Bellinger, too, same thing. Young talent, pretty tall, good swing. This guy has it all. I believe, what position is he? I think he's outfield, though, right? I want to say.
Yes. Center field?
Makes sense, yeah. Oh, yeah, him and Yelich were both.
Yeah.
That All-Star voting must have not been very hard if they're both outfielders. I'll put them right in there, two MVP leaders. But really, really good for baseball. Again, the young talent is really showcasing what they have, bringing a lot to the table for the sport. It's all crazy. It all just ties back into one. Like the MLB, they're on such an upswing right now. There's teams that are coming out of nowhere to achieve their greatest heights in franchise history, just much like the Cubs, who are making the playoffs year in and year out. They never used to do that.
For 100
way back 100 years ago, yeah. It's crazy. MLB is in for a big turnout.
You gotta love MLB era right now. With all these upcoming teams. Yeah. All like the new players. Like players that are coming out of nowhere and somehow playing really well.
Even teams that you're not fans of, like I mean, we're both from the Chicago area. I'm a Cubs fan. He's more so a Sox fan, but we both know that the Chicago teams, more so the Cubs right now, are more right in the mix right now. It really looks like, I don't know for sure, I know you more so know, definitely the White Sox are rebuilding. They're definitely looking better than last year, but it's just all these teams, you never know where they can come from. It's absolutely insane. Like, I want to touch base on another young team that I kind of had some high hopes on. The Atlanta Braves won the division last year to lead the division this year. They got two young guys that they brought up last year, named Ronald Acuna Jr., who I actually thought was a dark horse pick to win the home run derby until he got knocked out by Pete Alonso and Ozzy Albies, two really young and talented players. Ronald Acuna, that swing, it doesn't look
Deadly.
powerful, but he could blast it across.
Deadly.
Yeah, and besting the Phillies, who they just picked up Bryce Harper. Everyone thought the Phillies were going to be the team to beat. Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto from the Marlins, young manager Gabe Kepler, former player. Everyone thinks the Phillies are figuring out. Oh, even Jake Arrieta, former Cy Young, World Series winner with the Chicago Cubs. Everyone thinks the Phillies are figuring out, but slowly but surely, the Braves and even the Nationals are picking it up, which is, I think, so ironic considering Bryce Harper
just left.
And the Nationals are like, we could still beat you.
I love that competitiveness between the Braves, Nationals, and Phillies. It's all they're all within a few games of each other. Phillies being 7 games back. Nationals 5.5. It's going to be a good race.
More so, yeah. Braves kind of have a little bit of an advantage right now, but definitely for the wild card race, Nationals and Phillies could be right there. You never know. Very, very interesting. We also have some other teams that are looking on the outside looking in. Diamondbacks and Rockies right there. Even the Padres. I've noticed that ever since acquiring Manny Machado, the Padres have definitely been on the outside looking in. Like, they're not right there, but you can notice that there's baby steps being made with them. Because, I mean,
they're a 500 team right now, but they're progressing every single game.
I mean, it's definitely better than finishing, 65 and 97, something like that, 65, 60 win team. It's definitely a step in the right direction. When you're looking at another 10, 15 wins more each year, you could only applaud yourselves for that. San Diego's must be looking good. That contract for Manny Machado must be something that they are proud in, investing in a good young player who nearly won a World Series. So
nearly.
Yes.
I'm surprised about the Diamondbacks being second place in the NL West. Even though they're 12.5 games back, it's still... I'm never used to the Diamondbacks being a good team. They've always been, on the bottom the last few years. This is a shocker that they're up there.
And especially after they traded their star first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt, away to the Cardinals. They still have Zach Greinke, but they're another team, too, that you get those occasional young guys who kind of, rise up. But I especially think that them being in second place it's definitely interesting and a good thing for them. Because like I said, Goldschmidt, this guy year in, year out would hit 30, 35 home runs. He'd always be one of those players that you're like, he's definitely the leader of their team. He's definitely the best. And surprised he's not doing better for the Cardinals. Because the Cardinals were another team that people were looking like would take a huge step up. They got Marcell Ozuna last year from the rebuilding Miami Marlins. They got Paul Goldschmidt this year. Even though Adam Wainwright, their former Cy Young pitcher, is taking some steps down, they have young talent that is coming up and honestly would think to be a little bit more of a threat. But Milwaukee and Chicago seem to have the best young squads. Even Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was right up there for a second. They had a really good surge leading into the All-Star break. Josh Bell nailing home runs game in and game out. Even Cincinnati, though, too. I'm honestly surprised that they're not more so in it, but it's all really close. Baseball, you're either on the borderline, you're way below or you're way up. It's either one of those. You're not flirting with
middle.
90 wins,
Yeah.
barely above. You're either right there, way down,
you're way
or
down
way
there.
up. Yeah. Either one
It's
of
an
those.
exciting time this season, especially like the second half after the All-Star break. It's exciting to see the teams, how they progress and how they line up in the playoffs.
Regroup, exactly. It's a long season, but after the All-Star break, you're like, time to get to work. I mean, the first half is definitely like, it's not so much a sleaze. It's just more like, they're trying to see where we're at, and now you could reassess at the All-Star break, and you could regroup and say, now it's time.
We need to be here. We're here. Just need to keep working.
First step is win games. Second step is possibly the playoffs. Third step is
Winning the World
taking care of
Series.
business. So, really awesome to see. So many. There could be so many new winners this year and new contenders we don't even know. We're all looking forward.
It's going to be a
to
fun
the
run.
playoffs. Yes, it will be, and I'm almost positive we will have a repeat winner right now because as of right now, the Boston Red Sox are not even in the wild card spot. So, going into the All-Star break, we are already on pace for a new World Series champion. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be real interesting. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen. We could get a third straight World Series appearance for the Los Angeles Dodgers, but
we could see a bunch of new teams, though, too.
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen, especially in the playoffs. It's a new season once playoff season starts.
Yes, that is very true.
No one is safe.
Right. For how long baseball season is, and only really 4 teams make it, it's like, wow. That long season, and only literally about a quarter of us make it, or even less. It's like, wow. So, I feel like that really just makes it seem like you have to bring your A game every single game, because like I said, the season's so long, but the wild card game doesn't really feel like people make it. Like, if you're the loser of the wild card game, you're like, I don't really feel like I made it. Like, you have to win and be in one of those play-in series, and you're like
the Cubs and Brewers series last year.
Yeah, Rockies beat out the Cubs last year. That was a disappointing game for a Cubs fan like me, I will say that. And especially Milwaukee coming out of nowhere and winning that division. I was disappointed, I will say that. But again, Christian Yelich, Milwaukee, they were just hot at the time.
Once you hit a hot team, there's nothing going back.
It's hard to stop a hot surging team, especially like Milwaukee. They just had everything going for them. But especially in that series against the Dodgers, I don't even think it was they cooled off. I just feel like they both were so good that it was just like either one of them could win. It was just whoever could play each game better. It wasn't, this team was better or this team was better. It was just they're both really good, but who could just do it better? And that's why the Dodgers beat them out. But experience could pay off. Like, we could see the Cubs make a big step, being that they've dropped each year in the playoffs. Or we could see maybe Milwaukee take a step up this year and make the World Series. Or we could see the Braves make a move. We don't know.
We won't know until come October.
Yes, October baseball. That is
best baseball of the year.
Right. Exactly right. Got to get nice and precise in that time. Let's see, anything else we wanted to touch on here? I'm not sure. I mean, this season's already going in full swing. I'm not sure. Teams at the bottom here. Unfortunate again for the Mets, the Marlins. Not looking too strong. The Giants again. Even though they're only 6 games back, but 16 and a half in the division.
16 and a half.
Yeah, 6 games under 500. It's a disappointing year for some of those teams. Oh, the Orioles, the Royals, Toronto, Detroit. The Mariners, too. The Mariners were so hot starting the season, and I was like, what happened to them?
19 games behind first.
It's a disappointment for sure, I'm not going to lie. Oakland, I honestly am a huge A's underdog fan. Like, they're the lowest payroll team in baseball, and the fact that they make the playoffs or made the wild card game, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. I'm enjoying seeing the A's be like in the wild card spot, just because like how bad they've been like recently. It's good to see them up there, just like getting some more experience, like being with the big dogs.
Yeah, I was really hoping they would give the Yankees a little bit more of a shot in the wild card game last year, but I mean, you could tell right away they had a relieving pitcher starting that game because I'm not sure what happened to one of their starters, but the Yankees got to him right away. It was really no contest after that, but yeah, for them to make the big stage like that, being the lowest payroll team, it's pretty cool. Those underdog stories really do make sports interesting.
And I think that's it that we have for today.
MLB episode, yeah, is that
So this is MLB episode number 2 for all the podcasts. That's all we got. So we'll see you guys later.
Yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. MLB was today. Thinking a hockey one next.
Yeah, probably hockey, and then we'll do NFL later in the month.
Oh, that should be a good one.
That'll be definitely a
We
good
will definitely bring some guests in later for this one. We already have our other inventor, Sam. He's going to join us for the NFL one, and we could have a special guest as well for the NHL one. Stay tuned for that. But MLB episode was today. Just recapped everything that was going on so far this season. All-Star break season. Really cool that we could have all this support. Oh, just a quick reminder, guys. You could also follow our Instagram for latest updates in free agency during the season and all that. On the Spot Sports is our Instagram, underscores separating each word. Again, On the Spot Sports, just like our name, underscores separating each word. Also check out our YouTube. Our NBA podcast is up. That's, again, On the Spot Sports. We really appreciate your support, guys, and thank you so much for listening to us. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Jack.
And this is On the Spot Sports. Thank you for listening.
We will see you guys later.
Tune in for the next one.